I can feel your heart racing, 'cause everybody knows, yeah, everybody knows, and I can feel your body.
How is everyone doing? Hope everyone is doing fine. Hope you all are keeping safe. Hope everyone is doing okay. And yeah, guys, lockdown is also in Italy. We have our lockdown here as well. And yeah, this is the second lockdown. Second time we are going on a lockdown, same year. And yeah, we all have to be very careful and stay safe, okay? And try to follow the rules as always, like usual. And wear your mask, keep your hands sanitized, and all of that. You guys, I don't want to be sounding like a broken record. You guys know these things already, but just make sure to keep doing this, okay? It's very important, because this Koro, I'm going to be calling it Koro in this video. This Koro is like a ghost, okay? You don't know where it's coming from, you don't know how, you can't see it. If you're new to my channel, my name is Vivian. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. So today I'm going to be sharing my experience. I didn't know if to share this with you guys or not, but I thought about it and I decided to come and share with you guys. Maybe somebody will learn from my experience, or maybe somebody will pick something. We vlog, we create content for these reasons, okay? Rewind back to a few weeks back when my little baby, my boy, was sick. He had fever, okay? His body temperature was really high, and that was the very first time he was falling sick. Even when we took him for vaccine, he never had fever and all of that. That was the very first time he was falling sick. So you guys know, if you have little kids at home, you always have medicine for fever at home. It's always on a standby, because those are essential for the kids during winter. They are very, very important to have at home. So I gave him the fever medicine the first day that he was sick, okay? Mine, I got it when we went for his vaccine, and the doctor advised me to get the medicine, so in case he has fever or his body temperature rises, that I should give him the medicine. So I had it at home already. So the very first day of this fever, I gave him the medicine, okay, as instructed by the doctors. When you have fever, the body temperature always goes up during the evening. The next morning he was okay. Then towards the evening of the next day, oh my god, towards the evening the fever really went high. The temperature went really high. It went out of control, okay? So I was really scared, I was worried, I was panicking. I had to call his doctor, and it was late in the night. Mind you, by this time it was 9 p.m. already. I had to call his doctor, and she told me that she doesn't stay close to us. If not, she would have come and checked the baby, but she would advise me to take the baby to the hospital. But meanwhile, I was able to explain to her all the symptoms he had, everything I noticed, okay, since he got sick. I told her everything, and she told me to take him to the hospital. Getting to the hospital, it was another story entirely. It's like I almost forgot that the situation we are in is so long since I last went to the hospital. The last time I went to the hospital was when I gave birth to Michael. That was 11 months ago. The hospital is no longer the way it used to be, that you walk into the hospital and just get your number, you sit and wait for your turn and all of that. Getting to the hospital, we were waiting outside, because you cannot go inside anymore, just as it used to be. And when the lady was finally ready to attend to us, they took our body temperature, they took mine, they took Michael's body temperature, and then they directed us to the department where they do COVID-19 test, okay? So we went to see to do the COVID-19 test. They always conduct 2 tests, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, but that day they conducted 2 tests for each one of us, okay? So after which they asked me to go and wait in the reception, okay? The way the nurses, the way the doctors, the way everybody was dressed was scary, really very scary. we were there. I was seated. Mind you, you cannot take a baby stroller into such places. It's not even allowed. So after the test, they asked me to wait in this reception. I waited, and at a point, after waiting for so long, I asked, how long am I going to wait for the test? Are you going to admit my baby? Is everything all right? And they told me that I should wait, that they can't tell for now until the test is out. At the end of the day, guys, I ended up waiting for 2 good hours, even more. It was really stressful at that time of the night. Baby was sick. At a point, he fell asleep. The wait looked so long because I was anxious, I was scared, I had a lot of thought going on my mind and all of that. So it made the wait even more stressful, okay? But I was there, I waited, and I saw them going up and down, up and down. They were dressed in a way, guys, that, oh my Lord. After 2 hours, a doctor walked up to me and told me that our first result was out, because they conducted 2. One is a very quick one. They find out after a few hours, 2 to 3 hours, the result is ready, okay? So then the second result takes days, like 3 days or something, okay? So she walked up to me and said, here is your result. Mind you, while we were waiting, they also controlled Michael, because I went to the hospital not because I wanted to go for the test. We went because baby was not feeling okay. So they controlled everything. He was fine, and it was only the COVID that we were waiting for, to see the result, to see what the result was. So at the end, they came and she told me that the result was negative because it was a quick test, so that the main result will be out in few days, that I should wait for their call, that they were going to call me in 2 or 3 days time to let me know what the result is, okay? So I said okay. But first of all, I was excited that the first one, even if it was a quick test, it was negative. I was appreciative because it's not easy. I was really very happy because the runny temperature and all of that was one of the symptoms. I was really grateful for good health. I was happy. I couldn't wait to leave that hospital. I was so scared going into that hospital, I swear. Oh my God, I was so scared. So we got back home. The next day, fortunately, guys, the fever disappeared. I didn't give him anything other than the fever medicine he has been taking. His body temperature went down by itself and all of that, and I said, oh my God, it was only a matter of time, but how could I have known? If I was patient enough, maybe if I had waited the next day, baby would have been fine and wouldn't have gone to the hospital, because going to the hospital these days scares me anyhow. If I can avoid the hospital, I would. I always tell my kids, make sure not to hurt yourself. We don't want to go to the hospital. This is not the period to visit the hospital, okay? So it's not funny. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. If you have doubts, if you have worries, call your doctors. If possible, make them come to your house, especially for the kids. Make them come to your house to visit the kids at home, okay? So if need be, they will advise you to take the kid to the hospital. But in my case, it was really late at night. She couldn't have moved from her home, and advising me to go to the hospital was the right option. At least I took off the worries from my shoulder. I was less worried because at least the doctors visited him and everything is fine, you know. So, but I needed to wait for the second test, which is the main test, to know positive or negative, okay? So few days later, I expected their calls, but the call didn't come through, and I was seriously excited because they said if they call, it means they are going to communicate that it is positive. But if they don't call, it means everything is fine. Things we take for granted, good health is something we take for granted a lot. If you can sleep and wake up, your breath is enough for you to appreciate God every day. Yeah, I'm really grateful and thankful to God. So yeah, my advice to you guys is that be careful, watch your kids closely. yeah, if it is necessary, call the doctors to come to the house to visit your kids. And because this period there, the oh god, man, sorry guys, this period there, when you go to the hospital, it looks like horror movie. Like, guys, I'm not joking, it looks like horror movie. You guys stay safe out there, be very careful. You know, you don't know, it is a ghost. Be extra careful. You can never be careful enough. Okay, be extra careful. Wear your gloves, wear your masks. Always make sure to sanitize. Do everything necessary to prevent yourself, to avoid it. I know it is not by power, it is just God's protection. Okay, and yeah, do your best and leave the rest for God. Okay, yeah, so that is my story for today. Okay, that is not the end, guys. When I thought all this was just a nightmare that I needed to wake up from, the day after, my son came back from school and they told me that a kid in his school had Koro. So the class was on quarantine and we had to keep him at home for 10 days, and we went back to online schooling and all of that. Mind you, we were already used to this online schooling. Remember, at the beginning of this lockdown, at the first lockdown, we were already on doing online schooling and all of that. So we went back to it for 10 days, and so that is that for that. And my daughter's class, the teacher has Koro. So guys, it's God that will save us. It's God that will save us. God. And Christmas is coming. I don't know how we are going to celebrate this year's Christmas. I just pray that everything will be fine. So yes, guys, thank you so much. You guys are amazing people. You guys are awesome, sweet people. Thank you so much for listening to La Vie once again. I appreciate you all. Bye bye.